So, like I said, welcome back, everybody. This is the first in our spring series. We're going to have presenters on all of SEED's undergraduate programs, so our living learning communities, the STEP Summer Bridge program that we're talking about tonight. We'll have study abroad. We're going to talk about housing and dining and all of those things that details that you need to know when you're coming to a brand new place to do something. Many of the times we will have a speaker, but we're also going to have students. We very much feel in the SEED office that it's important to have that student perspective. We know that you're going to listen to people who have firsthand experience and have been through it a lot more recently than some of us in the SEED office. So tonight we have Christina Martin. She is the director of the STEP Summer Bridge program. She's going to give a presentation. And, you know, as she's presenting, please do think of questions because she's also brought some students along. I think they're all, I'm looking at them, freshman engineering students who did the STEP program last year. So they have very much firsthand experience of, you know, what it was like last summer, how it helped them, you know, when they entered freshman year. We know engineering's hard, so you want all the support you can. Christina Martin is not only the director of the STEP program, she's really our SEED mom. So if you end up here at Virginia Tech and you are having any problem whatsoever, even our boss, the whole executive director of SEED, it's not uncommon for her to drag some student over to Christina's office and say, here, she will help you. So please don't be a stranger. We love having students over in our office. And without any further ado, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Christina. The final thing is, and we've got it perfect right here. Usually what I ask is that the guests go ahead and keep your cameras off, at least until we get to the question part. If you want to turn your video on at that point, but we're going to leave the Virginia Tech students with their cameras on, Christina with hers, and that way you kind of know who the guests are and who the students are. And I think we had another two students. Kais just joined us and Nolan. So Kais and Nolan, Christina's going to present, and then we're going to just go to questions. So now I really will turn it over to Christina, and I'm going to go ahead and turn my audio and video off, but I will be on the whole time.
Oh, let's see. Give me just a second to get the PowerPoint up and going. Okay, Kim, can you see that okay?
Absolutely.
Okay. Okay, everybody. So my name is Christina Martin, and my official title is the Assistant Director of Student Programs in the SEED office. I do a lot of different things. I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself, but under full disclosure, I am at a basketball game for my teenage daughter, and I am doing the presentation from in my car. So if I have technical difficulties, that is why. So I'm just going to throw a bunch of information at you about the STEP program. I did invite several of the students that I worked closely with during the summer, but also have had very close connections with this fall, for them to share their experiences and for you to ask questions about the benefits of the program. Would they do it over again? Why or why not? Is it a good idea to attend? So I'm just going to get started. Let's see. So just really quick, I'm going to do kind of an introduction of me so you can kind of get to know who I am. Even if you don't come to STEP at Virginia Tech, I am still a resource in the SEED office for you. And like Kim said, I work with a lot of students very closely. So if you have an issue or there's any questions that you have, I'm happy to meet with you and answer them regardless of whether you come to the STEP program or not. I am just going to talk about kind of the purpose of the program, what the goals are, what are things that we do in the program, what does a typical day look like for you, um, some of the benefits that our students have gotten. I think really the students can share the benefits having gone through the summer and then gone through their fall classes. I think they have a lot of insight to share about what that transition is like. And so I'm really thankful that they are willing to be on tonight and to help guide you as you're thinking about whether or not to attend this program. And then you'll have some just time to ask questions for them, ask questions of me. I do want to leave a good bit of time for questions so that the students have a chance to answer. So like I said, I'm Christina Martin. I am the director of the STEP program. I also work very closely with our scholarship students in our office. I've only been at Virginia Tech for about a year. Prior to coming to Virginia Tech, I was a K-12 teacher for 17 years. So working with students is what I do. I can now say I've literally worked kindergarten through college level students and graduate students. So that's a pretty cool thing for me. So if you have a problem, I've probably seen it before. So like I said, my office is always open whether or not you decide to attend the STEP program. Um, I do have two daughters. I have a 10-year-old and a 14-year-old. They are very active. They do a lot of sports, so we're traveling quite a bit. If you do attend the STEP program, you will see them with me quite a bit during the summer. My husband, Perry Martin, also works in the SEED office. So work is definitely a family affair in our family. So I am the director of the STEP program. You will see me every day of the STEP program. I'm there. I'm a resource for you. I check in on you to make sure things are okay. But I cannot do it by myself. The program would not run well. So we do have other people that help. We also will have a program coordinator. That will be more than likely a graduate student who will kind of run the daily activities of the program, helping me set up activities, making sure things are going smoothly. If students are having medical issues or academic issues or something like that, a lot of times this person is that first stop. And then if she feels like or he feels like there's something that needs to come to me, then we kind of work through that. So there's somebody else that kind of helps coordinate that program. And then we will have 6 residential advisors. Those will be the students that live with you in the dorm. For the most part, during the day, they're kind of doing their own thing because all of the STEP participants are in class. So most of the time that you will see them will be in the evenings and on the weekends. They're kind of responsible for managing the community of STEP and for interacting with the students and kind of planning some fun activities and kind of getting to know the campus. The great thing about them is all of these students more than likely are going to be in engineering. And so they're a great resource for you to ask questions because they've been where you have been. So just a quick kind of overview of the program. The program is a 5-week program. It starts the last week of June and it lasts through the end of July. Students come on Saturday or on Sunday, I'm sorry. Get acclimated to the campus. You'll eat in the dining hall, get your stuff moved in, get your room set up. And then classes will start on Monday morning and classes run through the end of July on Friday. And then on Saturday, we do our closing ceremony and then students leave. The STEP program is open to students that are accepted into the College of Engineering. However, it is also open to students who are in university studies or another major who is interested in transferring into engineering. And if you have questions about that, there are some nuances to that. If you're in another major, how does it work coming into engineering that we can talk about individually. But for the most part, we're looking at students who are accepted into the College of Engineering. So one of the big things about the STEP program truly is helping you make the transition from high school to college. A lot of students look and think, well, I was a student in high school. It's not going to be an issue for me. But things are a little bit different when you're living in the dorm. You don't have the strict schedule of 8 to 3 that somebody else puts in front of you. You have work for the first time that you may not know how to do. Just being on campus, learning where the dining halls are, where are the buildings, where is the library, how do I get computer help if my computer crashes? All of these things are things that add to that transition into college. And so the purpose of this is really to start that transition to college early so that by the time you hit the fall semester, you're ready to hit the ground running. You know where everything is. You know what professors expect. You know how to communicate with professors. You have friends from the STEP program that you've already been studying with for 5 weeks. So really it is to help you make that transition to your fall semester as smooth as possible. And I think the students that are on the call tonight would say probably one of the main things that they liked about the STEP program was the community that was built. The students that you'll see tonight still hang out together. They still study together. I see them every day. And so they already had that community built by the time they came to campus in the fall. So that's really the big push for the program, is just trying to get you ready and get you acclimated before you ever step foot on campus for the fall. Oh, hold on. Kim, I think I have the wrong presentation pulled up. Oh, I do. Hold on, give me just a second.
Okay. While Christina's doing that, I'll just let you know what's happening next week. So next week we will have a presentation on Galileo and Hypatia. Those are our 2 engineering living learning communities. We do also have the new Digerati living learning community, which is just for students in IT related fields. And we will have a separate speaker for that. We'll again hopefully have some students. Emily Rogers will be doing the presentation. She is one of our graduate assistants, and so she will be talking about those 2 programs. As always, I'm recording this session. We will post them. We are probably like a lot of people, we have had limits on our storage, both the students and the faculty and staff. We can't just infinitely add things to our storage. So we are going to be migrating these recordings to our Seed YouTube channel. That information has been in the emails that I've sent out. But for now, we're gonna, until we get that set up, we're gonna continue to host them in the Google Drive, and again in my emails. And I know everybody on this call has lots and lots of emails from me, so we'll make sure to get that information to you.
My apologies, everybody. We are getting used to a new system with Microsoft, and I can't always put my hands on the right thing. I have it now.
Okay.
Give me just a moment. Okay. Shoot. Now I can't remember. I can't tell from my screen which one it is. Okay. Okay, let me double check and make sure this is the right one. Yes. Okay. Okay, so my apologies again. Um, so for the STEP program, there are several different areas that we kind of focus on, academic, personal development, and professional development. And there's lots of different activities. Of course, we have the academic coursework. One of the neat things about this program is we get a lot of the engineering faculty from different departments, whether that's mechanical or chemical or industrial systems, biomedical, to come in and actually have lunch with our students. So during the week, we will have professors in these different areas come in and have lunch with the students, sit down and talk with them one-on-one. It's very nice, very informal, and the students get to ask questions. We also do a lot of professional development seminars. I'll talk about those in a second. The academic coaching. One of the neat aspects of this program is actually getting to work with industry, and I'll talk about that project that we did last year. And then, of course, it's team building. It's creating those bonds with students who you are going to be in class with. And so there's lots of fun social events that we do. We ask students, what do you want to do? And so we have, try to do things that you want to do that would be fun for you. This in the car. Okay, there we go. Okay. So the academic content areas that you'll be doing are math, chemistry, and engineering fundamentals. These are 3 classes. You will have to take a math class at Virginia Tech. You have to take an engineering foundations class. Chemistry depends on kind of which major you're going to be going into. However, many of the majors require that you have chemistry at the time, at the moment. Those are the 3 classes. Really, math and chemistry are the 2 that students seem to struggle the most with. So this gives you a chance to experience the first 5 weeks of courses without any penalty. So the courses that you take during STEP, you do get grades for, you do take tests, you do have homework. It's set up exactly like what the fall semester would look like. And you do get a final grade, but the courses do not count toward your GPA. They're not for credit. I know in talking to the students that took it this past summer, they were very thankful that they came and they had the first 5 weeks of chemistry because their first and second chemistry tests looked identical to the ones that they took during the summer. So I think it made those first few tests a little bit easier for them because they knew what to expect. The schedule is very similar to what you're going to experience your first year. You will have group work where you'll have to work in teams for your engineering foundation class, have lunch at the dining hall. So all of those things kind of prepares you for what your day as a student is going to look like. One of the things I wanted to touch briefly on, and I like to do this with any students who are coming to Virginia Tech, and this is something that we've found that students are struggling with. One of the big things is taking the ALEKS placement exam. And once you accept your decision from Virginia Tech, if you are planning to take calculus or chemistry, you will start to get information on the ALEKS exam. If you want to take calculus or chemistry at Virginia Tech and you do not have credit for it, you will have to take the ALEKS exam. We ask students who are going to be in the STEP program that you only use one of your attempts before coming to STEP because you are going to be taking a math class at STEP and we are going to offer some tutoring and remediation specifically for the ALEKS exam. So if you don't pass on your first attempt, if your score is not high enough, we are going to try to get you to the place that perhaps you can take it again and earn the score you need. You will have an opportunity at STEP to take a second attempt on your ALEKS. Should you not pass it on the second attempt, you will still have one more attempt that you can use between the time STEP is over and when the academic semester begins. I know Dr. Lester is going to have me come back and do a presentation just on that and how the ALEX exam works. And so if you have questions about that, I'm happy to talk about that as well. But I just want you to know that if you are thinking about coming to STEP, and you know that you're going to need to take Calc 1 or chemistry, and you know, therefore, you're going to have to take the ALEX placement exam, please only use one attempt. We have had students that you get 3 total attempts and they use all 3 before they ever get to STEP, and there's nothing we can do about it. So once you've used all of your attempts, you can't take it anymore, and then you're placed in whatever class you qualified for. So I cannot stress enough, if you think you're going to come to STEP, make sure that when you start seeing the information on your ALEX exam that you only take one attempt prior to coming to STEP. Like I was saying before, we really try in STEP to get you acclimated to the faculty and the academic learning environment. So we give you a lot of time to interact with faculty individually and also as a group. We do the faculty lunches. Those are one-on-one and small groups. You can ask faculty questions. A lot of times they talk about the research they're doing. If you seem really interested and have questions, I've had professors that say, hey, would you be interested in this? Or, you could say, do you have an opportunity for me? I'm really interested in this area. That's a great way to make those personal connections. We also do seminars on the different engineering areas. One of the things with freshmen is they don't always know exactly what branch of engineering they want to go into. And so we do our best to try to show you what the different areas look like. What are the types of jobs that you can get? What type of work and research are you going to be doing in that academic area? As you can see in the pictures, the first picture is students doing a tour of construction engineering management and building construction. That's one of the majors in engineering at Virginia Tech. They were showing some of their autonomous robots. And then in the bottom, we do lab tours. Several of the students said that they weren't able to do lab tours when they came to campus. And so we wanted to make sure they had an opportunity to tour the different labs on campus. So we also have professors that come and just present seminars about their research, about their area of expertise, about their department. So we really try to make it so that you have some information on engineering going into the fall semester. One of the activities that we always do is an industry-led design challenge. This year, GE Vernova came and did a design challenge about building a structure that could withstand certain constraints. It had to hold, I think, water, and it had to hold a little astronaut. So what you see here are the groups of teams that are working. The lady from GE Vernova, Mary, who runs this program, was a STEP student. She participated in STEP, was in seed programs when she was at Virginia Tech, graduated, went on to GE, and now she provides this design challenge. But the neat thing is they have engineers that come and work side by side with the students on their engineering design challenge. One of the funny moments of this activity this year was learning about patents, and students couldn't use things that they wanted to because their counterparts or another group stole their patent. And so there was a lot of frustration over patents and learning how those worked. So the engineers actually get to work alongside the students. They get to ask questions. And then after the design challenge, which you can win swag, I think it was some pretty nice swag, the engineers presented on GE and the different branches of GE and kind of what they do. So this gives you an insight and some face-to-face time with the industry representatives that come and do this. So this is a neat event that STEP gets to participate in. In addition to the academic seminars that we host, we also try to make sure that you know about all of the resources on campus. Making the transition to college is not just about academics. It's preparing yourself mentally and physically for what you're going to encounter. So we have the Student Success Center, which is where all of our tutoring is through. They come and do presentations on study tips and what are their services and how do you find them. Hokey Wellness does finances. How do you eat well? What happens when you fail and you've never dealt with that before. So they come and do presentations. Career and professional development is awesome for engineering. A lot of times students are looking for internships and they come and talk about different internships and what are the opportunities on campus and where do you look for those and find those. And then the Office of Undergraduate Research, again, that's yeah, a lot of students are interested in research and sometimes it's hard to know how to get started. And so these offices come and kind of start that pipeline for you. So this is a great introduction to campus, and you're going to get a lot of resources that you probably wouldn't have if you don't do the program. Um, Again, I know I've mentioned this, but one of the big things about this is just getting to know other students in engineering. Engineering is a difficult major. You cannot do it by yourself. You will hear us preach that over and over and over. You cannot do it by yourself. And so it's really important that you build a community around you. And so that's what this program is for, to help you build the things that you need to be successful in the fall. You are with us on July 4th. So we have a whole day full of games. That's what the first picture is. The students decided, since the Barbie movie and Oppenheimer were coming out this past summer, they did a Barbenheimer movie night, and so you can see all the students there that decided that they wanted to go. We also had Cook Counseling, the therapy dogs at Virginia Tech, come in and just hang out with the students for an hour. They just get to love on them and kiss on their ears, and the dogs love it. The students love it. So we do a lot of fun things as well. I wanted to put this up there because it kind of shows you what a typical day is like. So for the STEP program, you will have classes Monday through Thursday. Just like when you hit the fall semester, you may not have classes 5 days a week. You're not going to have classes all day, every day. So this is kind of meant to simulate what your day would typically look like. I will tell you this: chemistry will be at 8 a.m. That is intentional because chemistry is a difficult class. A lot of the engineering classes are offered at 8 a.m. and you need to learn how to get up and have a difficult class right off. So chemistry, and then we usually have math. If you'll see some of that white space, that's a little bit of a break. So you would have a little bit of a break before lunch. And then in the afternoon, typically what we have had is your engineering class. Your engineering class is not 4 days a week, it's only 2. But for that class, you will have a design challenge project that you will have to work with a group on. So the other 2 days that you're not in class in the afternoons is time for you to meet with your group. It's also time that you can go into the studio and use the equipment there to make a prototype. We try to give you the flexibility to learn how to manage your time on your own. We don't tell you have to be in the studio. We don't tell you have to work in a group. Some students have to find that out the hard way when something is due and they don't have it ready. But again, this is meant to simulate what you are going to experience in your first semester. The professors do hold office hours just like they would in the fall. You can see that then we have dinner, and then the rest of the evening is yours. And what you decide to do with that is completely up to you. This is an opportunity for you to learn the campus, maybe to go do something fun, to do a study group. But this is really meant to simulate what your fall semester will look like. On Fridays, we have what's called academic coaching. So we have graduate students in engineering that meet with small groups of students, no more than 10. You'll meet with your academic coaching group every Friday morning, and they go over things like time management, how to write an email to a professor, how to contact your professors appropriately. What are the groups on campus that you might want to join? What is a design team? And these are students. So they've been there, they've done that. This is a great time to ask questions in a small group and find out things that, maybe you don't want to ask in the whole group, but you have a student standing right in front of you that you can ask, like, hey, who did you have for this class? Were they a good professor? Do you recommend taking this class with that one? So I think the students got a lot out of their academic coaching sessions. And then you can see we had some studio time and lunch. That's totally optional to you, how you handle that time. And then we had the required seminars. So some of the activities that we do during STEP are required. Some of them are optional. All of the academic activities are required. There's a reason why we're putting them out there to give you information, and we do expect you to be there. But this is what your typical day would look like if you were a participant in the STEP program. This was our schedule from last year. And I think that the students can really better talk about this, but what are the benefits that they saw from the program? But again, it's just having a chance to get your feet on campus, understand where things are, understand what the workload looks like, and to be able to make friends before you ever step foot on campus. So some of the logistics, the program cost is $3,000 per student. That basically covers your housing and meals for the 5 weeks. So we don't really get anything out of that. It's just feeding you and housing you. All we ask that students in the STEP program submit a FAFSA form, which you should do anyway if you're being accepted into Virginia Tech, so that you can get your financial aid information. But our office takes your information submitted on FAFSA to determine what you will pay. So if your family contribution, if your FAFSA shows that your family is not able to account for that $3,000, then what you pay will be decided by someone in our office. It can be anywhere from $500 to $3,000. Another part of the program is you are not allowed to leave the program at all. Once you are there until the end of the program. You are not allowed to leave. That's because you need to be there for the entirety of the program. That's the purpose of it, is to get you ready for the semester. So you cannot leave on the weekends. You are welcome to have visitors if your parents want to come visit for the day. You just can't leave overnight. So you have to make sure that you check in with your RAs every night. The other thing is that the College of Engineering requires that you have a specific laptop. You need to make sure you have that laptop, because you'll need the laptop and the software programs before you come to STEP, because you'll need them while you're there. The STEP website has been updated. The application is there. The dates are there. All of the information that I'm giving you tonight is there. So I would encourage you to check that out. Dates that are important. The application deadline for STEP is going to be May 31st. You will be notified no later than June 7th, probably earlier than that. You would have until Wednesday, June 12th to accept your acceptance into the program. And then, of course, the program begins Sunday, June 23rd. Okay, so that's all I have. I know it's a lot of information in a short period of time, but if my students who are joining us, who are STEP alumni, would like to take their microphones off, Dr. Lester, I'll turn it over to you, how you want to handle questions.
I think what I usually do is we'll just start by having the students introduce themselves, and then people are welcome to unmute and ask a question. I'll kind of man the chat. I will say a lot of times students are better and quicker than I am at seeing the chat, but I'll man it. And if there are questions that come up, I'm happy to speak them out to the group. But we're going to go ahead and start with introductions, and I'm just going to call people out as I see them on my screen. So Austin, you are the first person on my screen, and just kind of your name, where you're from, what you're thinking about majoring in, and maybe one benefit of STEP.
Hi, future Abdullah. So my name is Austin. I'm in the middle of like construction and management engineering and mechanical. I still haven't decided. I got a little bit more time to decide. And I'm from Mechanicsville, Virginia. So not that far away, or 3 hours away. And one thing that was so beneficial during STEP was probably chemistry. Definitely chemistry. If we didn't do the first 5 chapters, I would have failed chemistry. Love Candace. So yeah, she's gonna be a great teacher.
Ella, you are next on my screen.
I'm Ella. I'm from Stafford, Virginia. I'm planning to major in construction engineering and management. And the most beneficial thing about STEP, I'd have to say, is also chemistry, because that was really, really helpful in the beginning, and I wouldn't have not have done well if I didn't have that.
Abdullah, you are next. Are you going to say chemistry? Oh, you're still muted.
My bad. I'm Abdullah Kargbel. I'm from Stafford, Virginia. Me and Ella actually went to the same high school. I'm planning to major in biomedical engineering, and the most beneficial thing for me for STEP was probably all the people I met. I'm actually with Austin right now at Gilbert, so we're here together. So I made a lot of friends, and we help each other a lot. I wouldn't be able to be here without them.
And
That's-
Nolan, you're next on my screen.
Hi, my name's Nolan. I'm from Yorktown, Virginia. I'm not actually an engineering major anymore. I switched to political science with a focus in national security. But I mean, even though I'm not engineering, I still absolutely love the STEP program and would recommend it to pretty much everyone. The biggest part for me that I think helped was, I think, just helping me through the transition work-wise of high school to college, and just kind of trying to get into good habits that I might have worked in high school, but definitely don't work in college.
And Kais.
Okay, so hi, my name is Kai Sarsour. I'm from Falls Church, Virginia, and I'm intending to major in computer engineering. And one thing about STEP that I thought was really helpful was just getting the sense of how college is, because it's a lot different than high school, honestly. And like just getting like a little bit of a head start and a little bit of like a feeling about like how classes are, how how you're more independent and how it's more about it's all on you. Like no one's really telling you what to do. So I think STEP was a big step towards like getting into college and a big key towards my success in college.
Well, I can ask questions all night long, but I'd like to open it up to those of you who are on the call. You can ask about STEP, but you've got freshman engineering students here. So, you do not have to restrict it to STEP. Anything you want to know about their experience, we don't coach them ahead of time when they come on these, so they are going to give their honest feedback and honest opinion about any topic that you would like to ask about. All right, well, keep thinking. Like I said, I can come up with questions all night long. So this time we'll go in reverse order with the students. And I guess this is also VT students. This is your opportunity. Probably a lot of people may or may not have accepted their offers yet. So convince them, why should they come to Virginia Tech? And we'll
Okay, so for engineering, I think Virginia Tech is by far the best school in the state. So if you want the best degree and the best opportunities, the best research, the best professors, just the best opportunity for your education, I feel like Virginia Tech is the way to go. There's a question. Did anyone do AP chemistry? And if so, did that help with the chemistry class at STEP? Oh, I didn't do AP chemistry, so maybe someone else should answer that.
Abdullah, you're muted again.
Oh, you.
Okay.
I know somebody named Brendan who did AP chemistry, and he kind of like carried me through that when I had questions on like homework and stuff. His school didn't really give AP chemistry as a like course.
Ella,
So
did you?
I have a question along those same lines for you all. Does taking AP classes in high school mean that you will breeze through your college level classes?
Not exactly, no, but they definitely do help because they get you started. Like for me, I took AP Physics, and I'm taking physics right now, so it's definitely helping a little bit. But the curriculum for college, especially here in high school, is not the same. Like Virginia Tech goes a lot more in depth, and it's a lot more like deeper. So it's honestly, it's still going to be pretty difficult, and you're still going to have to put a lot of time and effort into it. But obviously, taking AP classes is going to help you a little bit.
Yeah, if I might add on to that as well, the thing that I've mainly seen the AP credits help for is the pathways requirements. For those who don't know, the pathways requirements are like the general education requirements that Virginia Tech has. They require you to do certain classes in certain areas. And I found a lot of those, pretty much all of them for engineering, were already completed by the time I got to Tech just from doing AP classes in high school. Even now that I'm out of engineering, it's still helping me. Just a lot of classes, I'm fulfilling major requirements, getting all those general education requirements out of the way. It's really nice. Although it won't let you breeze through college, but it'll definitely help you.
AP Calculus helps. I did AP Calculus credit in high school, and I didn't have to take the ALEX. So if you're doing AP Calc, I recommend you study up and pass that exam.
And Virginia Tech does, and I don't know what the exact score is, but you can, with dual enrollment with AP, you can place out of some of those classes. Virginia Tech, I posted in the chat, there's a website, it's the Virginia Tech Transfer Guide, and it's a very good, you can put in your AP class and score, you can put in your dual enrollment class, and it will tell you, does this class count as credit? What do I have to get on the AP exam in order to get credit? So that's a really useful tool to have. Nolan, your chance to convince them to come to Virginia Tech.
Oh, okay. So I know Kai spoke kind of from an academic standpoint. I just say from just kind of an enjoying college standpoint, you really won't find a better community of people than Virginia Tech. I was someone who was originally dead set on going to George Mason due to their program. And then I toured here because I got into both schools. And it just it blew me away. Just the general friendliness and just enthusiasm that everyone here on campus has. Everyone is super kind. Just an all-around great community. Football games are amazing here. Yeah, there's just so many great student organizations. Really, like even if you don't know what you're going to study, Tech is just such a great school to kind of try and find that out and just get so many friends along the way. It's really great.
And I will just add, once you're in the Seed family, you're in the Seed family, and it doesn't matter if you transfer into another major. Please come see us, hang out in our space. We really do think of ourselves as the Seed family. We use those words with students, and we're there to support you literally all the way from pre-college through graduate school. And many of the alumni do stay connected and give back to us as well. So we do have another question. When and how do you start finding out what GOV, I'm not sure what GOV classes will count for.
Is that like Gov School? Is that what they're talking about?
Okay. So that link that I put in there, the transfer guide, that is where to get started in terms of whether your classes will count. So that is gonna tell you the AP exam equivalencies. It's going to tell you those dual enrollment classes. Most classes are going to be on there. It works both ways. You can put in the Virginia Tech class and it'll tell you what other university equivalents or community college equivalents. You can put in the class you took and it will tell you what what you will or won't get, what you'll get credit for with that particular class. So that is a good place to start now. Once you have accepted your offer sometime in the summer, and Christina, you might know better, but you are going to get emails from your academic advisor. Please, please, please be watching your email because you're going to get a lot of information. You do not want to miss out on something like your housing or something really important like that because you got flooded with emails and you didn't, look carefully at every single one. So please, please, please be looking at those emails. We will have Dr. Marlena Lester will be another What's Up Wednesday session, and she is going to do an introduction to academic advising. So she's going to kind of go through the timeline of what you're going to do, when you're going to get contacted. The summer academic advising is all online.
I was going to say,
Yeah.
Kim, do you want me to talk a little
Yes.
bit about that?
Yeah.
So one of the other things that we will do in the STEP program is the academic advising is completely online. So whereas in the past, students would come to campus, tour the campus, meet with your advisor, it's all online now. So that's one of the things that we do, make sure that you get done while you're in STEP. So you actually have to go through a Canvas module about whatever their advising modules are. Once you go through that module, you'll take a test and you have to make 100 on the test. Once you make 100 on a test, they will tell you who your advisor is, and you'll meet with your advisor virtually on Zoom one-on-one. And your advisor can talk to you about what classes count for what, where you are, and what classes that you'll need to take in the fall, and begin that process of getting you enrolled in courses for the fall semester.
So Christina, I know that, so the chat says current VT students, can you answer this? But I literally, Christina and I have had conversations about this exact question. So I'm taking AP Calc. Do I have to take the ALEX test?
So the way the ALEX exam works, and there's a lot of confusion about the ALEX exam, if you are taking a dual enrollment through a community college that will transfer, which is typically Math 263 at a community college for Calc 1, or if you have a passing score for AP Calculus, which I think is a 4, maybe, that means that you will get credit for Math 1225, which is Calculus 1. If you are coming in with math credit for Calc 1, you do not need to take the ALEX exam. And what has happened to students in the past is that they have Calc 1 credit and they take the ALEX exam and don't get a score high enough to score out of it, and they actually get placed in pre-calculus. So if you know that you are coming in with Calc 1 credit, the math department does not advise that you take Calc 1 again. You need to move on and take Calc 2, or whatever your math is in the next sequence. Now, with that being said, if you are planning on taking chemistry, if you are in a biomedical or mechanical or ISE right now, those majors have to have chemistry. If you were planning on taking chemistry in your fall semester, you would need to take the ALEX exam because you would have to have a qualifying score. Again, there's a lot of nuances to the ALEX exam and who needs to take it, and what counts and what doesn't. And those are all, I'm happy to meet one-on-one if you're, if you have questions about that. Like Dr. Lester said, there's going to be another one specifically on math. But yeah, if you think you have credit for Calculus 1, or if you know you will have credit for Calculus 1, chances are you probably do not need to take the ALEX exam.
I think one of the difficult things is you don't always have the score back when you have to start making these decisions. So I did look it up and I'm putting it in the chat. According to the transfer guide, and they don't have it updated for this coming fall, I have no reason to think it would change. You need a 4 or 5 in Calc AB, or you need a 3 in Calc BC to get that Calculus 1 credit. And I think, let me go back. Okay, and there were so just some questions. All right, Abdullah, why Virginia Tech?
This kind of goes off of what somebody already said, but the community here is really about holding each other up. I know even if you have a certain thing that you like, there's a lot of different clubs that you can go to try different things. Me personally, I'm intending to be biomedical engineering, but I'm in college mentors for kids, so I get to work with elementary schoolers every week. And the other thing that I would recommend about Virginia Tech is you can really find opportunities here by talking to professors. I know a lot of them can seem really scary, but if you are willing and you try to make a relationship with a professor, they're going to help you out. They're going to give you opportunities, and that'll really help propel you forward.
Ella, how about you?
For me, I really liked tech because everybody here like is always so open to helping you. And I know I was planning on going to construction engineering, and I talked to the advisor, and even though I'm not in that degree yet, they still that everybody in that department was helping me find and plan in classes and stuff. So there's always people there that are, even if you're not necessarily in that program yet, they'll still help you out. And I like, yeah.
Austin.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back to like what everybody was saying. Kind of Kais definitely said that VT is definitely the number one engineering school in the state of Virginia, which honestly appealed me the most. And then I'm like Abdullah said, a lot of the connections here. If I've gotten really comfortable with just like going to office hours, talking to professors, because it's just like at when you come to college, I think you'll come to the realization that professors are just like people. They're not like some authority figure that you can't ever talk to. So if you if you just try and talk to them, I feel like you definitely make better connections and expand your portfolio.
So I want to give the participants a chance to ask any questions. I'll wait a minute. If there aren't any, then I have one closing question for all of our students. But I'll wait just a little bit to make sure nobody else on the call has a question that they want to ask. And I'll give you the question now, so you have a little bit of time to think. So my final question is, what is your favorite memory at Virginia Tech so far? And I know it hasn't been a super long time. It might feel like a really long time, but you've got plenty of time to make more. But your favorite memory so far, and let's say, not at STEP. We're gonna start with, mid-August till now when you got here. And just to warn you, Abdullah, I'm gonna start with you this time. So be ready.
Are we still waiting for questions, or can I answer?
You can answer.
My favorite memory at STEP was,
No, not at STEP.
or
No.
I'm sorry, at Virginia Tech.
Yeah.
That was my bad.
Okay.
Was probably when like the first month, I think I ran into a really rough patch, and I was literally like, I couldn't do it. But I reached out to Christina, and she really helped me out. And even now today, I actually just met with her today, and I meet with her every week just to talk. And that was probably like one of the most valuable memories like I've made here, because she's really like held me down when things are gotten tough, almost like my mother on campus. So I'm really, that was probably my favorite memory so far.
Yeah, she is our seed mom. Nolan, how about you?
For me, my favorite memory of Virginia Tech has got to be with the marching band. That has been, if you can play an instrument, if any of y'all are planning on coming to Tech and can play an instrument, join the Marching Virginians. You literally get free front row football seats for every single home game. And yeah, my favorite memory is definitely with them just being on the field. We did one of the games, we did the pregame show. And I will never forget that, because it's like packed. Everyone's like super excited. And then, we get to be out on the field. If you know any of the Virginia Tech football traditions, at the beginning, it gets pretty crazy during the beginning of the games, which is always fun. So yeah, I think which kind of also speaks to just how great the communities here at Tech are as well. Yeah, that's definitely my favorite memory.
And there are lots of engineers in marching band.
Oh, there are quite a few. Yeah, no, if you think that's one of the things that scared me at first as well. I didn't think I was going to be able to do it because I was engineering. Like you'll be fine. Yeah, you can make it work easily.
Nice.
So it's not one specific moment for me, but it's honestly just going to play basketball almost every day with my friends, just going to McComas Hall, which is our gym here at Virginia Tech, and just being able to like socialize and play basketball and just be competitive. And I honestly met some of my closest friends just by playing basketball. And also, like a lot of people think engineering is like all studying and all academic. It's really not. Like you have time to do what you want to do. And if you like, you like to play an instrument, like Nolan said, or if you like to like work out, play basketball, go outside, just, read. You have time to do whatever you like to do. If you manage your time well, honestly, you have a lot of free time. So it's really about how you spend your time. So it's pretty good.
And Austin.
Hi. So yeah, my favorite memory is definitely like Abdullah's. Well, I'm gonna mention like Christina for sure. I was also hitting a rough patch because it's like a drastic change when I think the change is different for everyone, but I think that there's a lot of like commonalities. Like you realize that like your world just expands. Like your world isn't just school anymore. I mean, technically you're going to university, but that's not it. You're gonna focus on like your future, your career, and you're just like it's like swimming in a pool and now you're just like thrown into the ocean kind of. So, and Christina really like she was kind of the floaties, I'm gonna say. Also, another good memory was for the chem finals. I remember studying until what, like 12, something like
Yeah, it
that.
was
So
like
12 with a couple people from STEP. And that was pretty fun. We we were losing our minds together.
Yeah.
All right, Ella, you get the last word.
So my favorite memories, kind of like multiple memories, but pretty much every day, me and a few other people from STEP, we all meet at Gilbert every single day, and we'll still get to see Christina, and we'll all meet together and we'll do and study and do work. And it's really nice because we can all ask each other for help, and then we can still go to Christina if we need help, and we still get to see everybody every day.
All right, so lots of awesome testimonials. I want to say thank you to the Virginia Tech students. Thank you to Christina for doing this from your car while you're waiting to pick up your daughter. And thank you, participants. Like I said, we will record it. Next week, we've got our Galileo and Hypatia Living Learning communities. They're really one community. Galileo is the guys, Hypatia is the young women, but they really do everything together. So we'll be having a presentation on that. It is 7:01, so I definitely want to be mindful of everyone's time, so our students can probably get back to studying. They are probably not done for the day. So thank you, everybody, and I will see you next week.